you. Come on in. We're glad to see you.
We have our third doppelganger from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, it's good to see you and welcome to our classic aftershave month. And PAA has inspired us so much that we have decided in May we are going to have a series where we spotlight famous people and what colognes they wore. We had so much fun with Black Shroud and talking about Dean Martin and all those things that we thought it'd be cool to do a celebrity series. So we need to know some things from you.
We do. So if there's anyone that you may wonder what they used to wear or smell like, put their name in the comments and we'll do some investigating and see if there's any shave soap homages to what they used to wear.
Mr. Rogers, Sean Connery, we got some great
Frank
suggestions
Sinatra.
on our live last night, right? So put them in the comments and let us know, and we're going to be doing that in May and June, so stay tuned, but that should be super fun. I kind of want to know what Sinatra smelled like.
Right? And then it kind of works into our soap for today.
Right. Our soap today was actually worn by Robert Downey Jr. and some other famous people, and what is our soap today?
Our soap today is an homage to a Hugo Boss scent from the 90s.
A total crowd pleaser, y'all. I'm excited. Let's meet the soap. All right, so this is from the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Hugo Boss for men. He's probably one of the most confusing brands ever, but oh, so memorable when it comes to the scent of Hugo Boss for men. A fresh, nostalgic, and versatile scent that you really don't need to overthink. Thank the heavens, I truly mean this. The next time you find yourself staring at all your bottles of fragrances stuck in analysis paralysis, just reach for Dbl SOB. It's that simple.
Wow. It's really a non-offensive crowd pleaser, harkening back to the simpler times of 1995.
That's funny. The one we did yesterday, Curve, was from 1996. So
Pretty
these are
close.
going to be friends, right?
Interesting. All right. And very different scents, I have a feeling.
Maybe.
I really believe this is the reason it has been so heavily requested over the last few years. It's like hanging out with an old friend that always has your back, a wingman, and a real Dbl SOB.
I'm not sure what the Dbl SOB means.
I know.
Except it's like boss, and sometimes your boss, if you watch 9 to 5 a million times like we have, they kind of refer to him with some off-color language, right?
SOB can stand for something else, too,
I
don't know.
And here we go. Or maybe it's more akin to a lazy fall weekend, or what you would wear to traipse through a lazy fall weekend. A comfortable pair of jeans and your favorite sweater. A simple life is good kind of scent.
And for this very reason, I am not going to go my typical route and do a deep dive into the scent. Why harsh this mellow that Dbl SOB has so effortlessly created? Keep it simple, sweetheart.
Dbl SOB will especially be an easy choice for all of those upcoming family gatherings, trips, and office parties. You really can't go wrong with a spritz.
We took the time developing this special soap to perform great and produce a thick, rich lather that will make your shave a true pleasure. The rest is up to you. Enjoy this special, long-lasting shave soap.
Happy shaving.
Okay.
Whoa! Oh, you gotta love these sales pages. And I'm so hoping that Hugo Boss is a little bit reminiscent for me of somebody or some
I was
place
thinking that too.
knew.
I don't know. I mean, maybe someone wore it, but I didn't know that that's what they were wearing.
Right.
So I'm curious if we get our noses on this, what we are actually going to collect
And I
from this.
don't remember the scent notes except for one, which I won't tell you, Apple. But I remember with these scent notes being like, oh, I really want to know what these smell like together. So let's unbox it! I slept hard on this, so there will be no hollow label.
But we snuck it on the schedule.
Don't get your
It's
hopes
okay.
up. But yes, as soon as we decided classic aftershave month, I had to
Oddly
practice
fitting.
it, right? All right, what have we got? There it is.
Ooh, I wonder if this kind of looks like the frag color, covers. I have no idea.
Different red and greens,
You can definitely
right?
see the dude in the
Why
background.
do I feel like it's Italian?
I know, that's what I was thinking too, just by those color selections.
guess, right?
Maybe that's a little
Oh,
innuendo.
beautiful. And then is there
and there's a side label.
Oh, I love the side label on the Doppelgänger soaps. Fresco has a side label. Clown Fruit.
I know, we realized
has
after a few of them
label.
have.
Love the side.
We are fans.
And then, ooh, I see the special foamy paper. Yeah, that's
that
my
means.
favorite
Which
thing.
we didn't realize the other day, but on this box,
We just noticed
there's a
this.
cube, and then there's a dude on that side.
Right there.
More
just
things to keep finding.
Welcome you to your aftershave experience. Ooh, what's it look like?
Oh, they get to see it first.
Oh,
Hey,
wonderful.
look at that.
Let's do some perfect.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm excited. Let's have a double SOB first impression.
I feel like you have to go first.
You
I don't
rarely
know.
see the words crowd pleaser.
That is intriguing.
But if anyone would know a crowd pleaser, it's Douglas
And I
Frank.
do remember when you were
come on.
looking at the scent notes that you remembered thinking like, oh, I wouldn't have connected this to like a man's frag kind of scent. And I think that's what made us push order.
Yeah.
Because you were just as perplexed by that list.
Totally.
And now I'm curious.
And I know how popular this scent was just because you saw it everywhere.
And I think that's
mean,
the
you
first
still
time
kinda
I
do.
heard the brand was because of that scent.
Right. And it's funny because it's called Hugo Boss for Men.
Right.
It's kind of like that joke about having a restaurant called Thank You for Calling, How Can I Help You? Because when you answer the phone, you have to say, Thank you for calling, how can I help you? How can I help you? Right?
That
So it's
is
kind of like
hilarious.
that, right?
It
Hugo,
is, right.
Hugo Boss for Men.
Just getting the name across here.
Okay, let's see.
No more
Enough
stalling.
Let's open this up. Take me back to 95, the year
let's
after I
see.
graduated. Here we go.
You can do the math later.
Yeah, dude, I'll give you a second.
Oh, that was an immediate.
Whoa!
Yeah?
Whoa!
Does it smell like a frag? Like, do you get that?
Wow. It started as the scent notes. So
Okay.
separate, and I'm getting them separate. And then after about 3 seconds, those scent notes go, oh, excuse me. And they become one thing.
Interesting.
So like I mentioned the apple a second ago. I get the apple in my very first whiff, but as it goes on, the apple reclines and becomes more of the scent notes around it
Interesting.
as I go.
Did you know someone that wore this?
No,
Because
I don't.
you didn't
I don't think so.
initially
I don't think so.
react that way.
Wow. They took
It got
apple
a wow.
and they made it minty and clean and
Oh,
a tiny bit
interesting.
creamy and just like, whoo! Y'all,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah, you're making me want to get a whiff
Take
of this.
that in,
I wanna
take
try
that
to do. Okay.
I have to resist opening this one right now.
I'm so intrigued by that list. Okay.
Yo,
Wow.
right?
Okay, so I do get that kind of fun masculine cologne hit
Yes,
to it. I can
right.
tell it's a frag, but
Does it start as the different scent notes like it did for me, and then they all kind of come together?
yes, I would agree. But I'm getting almost like a fun aquatic-y vibe.
Yeah.
But like in the
Yes.
woods.
It's that clean. It's
Like
that clean.
I'm getting aquatic, but
Yes.
there's greenery around me.
Absolutely.
And I have to say, if this was a men's shave gel in the shower, I would totally steal it. Like it has a fun, like I want some of that too vibe to
Hey,
it,
that should be a new benchmark for the program. Sarah would steal it.
right?
Hey, nice.
But yeah, it's really refreshing.
It's super refreshing, and not in the way you think. Because normally
No.
when I think refreshing, I think way blue. I think almost like icy kind of thing.
Yes.
No, could you be warm and refreshing?
It is, but the
that's what this
colors
is.
I see are like blues and greens, and I don't know, like that just comes to me not oddly, the
Yes.
red and green.
And there's probably out of 180 soaps so far, maybe 4 that are brave enough to take on apple. And
Yes.
boy,
And
do
it's-
I love it. Because it's not your normal scent. An apple is in the rose family. You can Google that. So if you do it right, that apple is like, has a rose quality. And this does.
I would not have known right away that it was apple, though. It's somehow like
Really?
the fruit is oddly making it sweet, but not gourmandy.
Right.
Like, so it is masculine cologne, but it's hard to make a man's something be sweeter without it
Right.
going to feminine.
See, for
and that
me-
doesn't happen here.
For me, this is a Magritte Mount Rushmore. I'm just seeing apple.
Oh, funny.
But then it's what they've done with it. It's how they've cleaned it up. And the one thing that, you get orange creamy a lot. You get orange creamsicle, right? Those kind of things. But apple creamy is not done very often. And this has it's not crazy creamy.
No.
But for me, it has, underneath it has like a creamy quality along with the
I
apple.
could see why you're getting that. Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it cologne-y, and that's what makes it gorgeous, because you normally wouldn't cream an apple. You have applesauce, but you don't
Right.
have creamy apple. This I don't think.
But it's interesting. Like sometimes with cologne, it can have that, like it gets too strong at the end.
Right.
This one doesn't. It almost sweetens.
And you're right. There is something, it doesn't leave you with the apple. It leaves you with something woody and grassy
Yes.
and
Or like
really
green
beautiful.
and like
Yes.
fresh and clean.
Right. What are those notes? What do you get?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
They're going to be fairly identifiable, I think, but my brain's just having a little trouble picking them out. Like, I think
what
I know
I'm getting
them.
is that it's a very, very complex
Yes.
scent. Like there are multiple things in
Well,
here.
and I think it's deceptively complex, because I
Yes.
think when you first take it in, you're like, oh, I got it. I got this
wonderful,
all.
yeah.
But then a few seconds later, you're like, but wait. There's more to that.
Like, this could be this, or it could be that, or it could be the pair
There's
of these
more
and these.
to that,
Like, there's
right?
multiple things dancing around in here.
Yeah, you don't realize by how perfect that scent is, how complex it might be to make it.
But I do enjoy this scent. Like, I feel like if I was at, like, a Macy's lineup and I was going down and taking whiffs of frags, this one would definitely stand out to me.
Right.
Assuming this is a pretty close doppelganger.
Y'all,
Hugo issue.
take that in and ask yourself if it's a crowd pleaser, because for me, absolutely. And if you do have to go somewhere, like an audition or a job interview or something where you kind of do have to make everybody in that room a little happy, at least ideally, right?
Right.
I'm going to grab this.
Yes.
I'm not grabbing hollows. I'm grabbing this.
But there's something very approachable about this scent.
Right. It's a long hugger.
Yeah,
it's like,
I would
you're going to
agree.
get slightly longer hugs because they're going to want to figure out
That is
what
this type
you
of a
wear.
scent to me,
Right.
for sure.
Absolutely. And of course, Hugo Boss for Men. Of course, it's going to be in that line. You know it's going to be good.
Right, that upper tier of, like,
I didn't
that's
think it was going to
great,
be quite
right?
this good or even have these natural edges to it.
I'm torn because I want to just enjoy it without pulling it apart. But I am curious if we should lather first or go to our backup.
Yeah, no, we do have the splash, but for right now, let's lather this thing.
Because there's so many things happening here. I think in a lather, it's going to answer our questions.
That's true. There's probably going to be some. Oh, and this CK6 base, y'all. Just, we were having a talk on our walk today about bases and about how we're now sort of being able to tell them apart. Because let's
that
face
we're,
it,
like,
up until now, they're
180-ish.
all so good. They're all so good. But for me, it's about a combination of two qualities. Is it thick? And is it sticky? Because sometimes the lather can be thick, but when you go to put it on, it thins out, right?
Right.
And sometimes it can be sort of sticky, but it stays thin on your face, right?
So like a consistent format in the bowl and on your face.
So what the PAA lather's done for me from the very beginning is to create a benchmark of a lather that is both thick and sticky. When you put it on your face, it's going to stick and it's going to stay thick when it does. Which I think is why the first word I always use when I describe a Phoenix lather is safe. For a newbie,
Yeah, you do.
it feels safe. I know that I'm not going to get any nicks if I'm not doing anything that I shouldn't be doing.
Right. If we're getting
I'm not
creative
doing
here,
any
yeah.
off-roading or experimenting. Yeah, it's going to be exactly the kind of shave that you're looking for. And as Douglas will remind you, if
I'm
you
already
like it with,
smelling
I know. If you like it with a little less water, it'll be your friend. If you like it with a little more water, it's not going to judge you. It's just going to be there for you. It's going to take that water and it's just going to turn itself into something else. And,
Wow, that's
it's
like
just,
I to me.
I know.
That is insane.
This
It's
scent
not
is
that it's
beautiful.
strong. It's just
No.
the scent is actually really enjoys waking up, I think.
Right. It just has a nice wide cast, I think.
Yes,
of these
that is a good
particular
way to
scent
put it.
notes, right?
I'd agree.
Woo!
Are you glad you pushed send now?
Oh, I love this.
There are things happening in that bowl. What the what?
Wow. Okay. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to say it. Let's have a grown-up conversation. We have a couple of the soaps that are apple forward, but they have a similarity. They have a very sweet, sort of mysterious scent that goes along with the apple.
I'd
It
agree.
takes it very gourmand, very sort of brown sugary, very sort of into those areas, right?
Yes.
This is the first apple scent where that apple is allowed to sort of stand alone in its appleness, and then the other things sort of surround it and bring it down into a nice reclined position so that they can all just sort of be there together, and nothing has to like overly sweeten it or take it to the candy place or like make that apple too much of a gourmand. That's what it is.
Well, it's funny because I know you are a giant fan of having that apple scent.
Right.
But to me, if no one told me apple, I wouldn't know it was in there.
That's the
I
difference.
would not know it's in there.
That's the difference. This is an apple scent without being a gourmand. So you
Not
know
at all.
First Night, if you're a constant viewer, we just did First Night, and it was a raspberry forward scent, but not a gourmand, and that was in bold letters. This, I think, is our first apple that I don't want to, that's not a gourmand. It uses the apple, like part of that rose apple scent, to just be a beautiful cologne. Are you getting that?
I am still so lost in my aquatic forest here. Beth. I believe everything you're saying, but that's where it's hitting me. It's just like,
Okay, y'all. So I'm going to a lovely orchard in Connecticut, and she's going out on the high seas, y'all. This is fabulous. And no, I get it. I totally get it.
right, but I can totally get your side too. But that's
Right.
where like my brain is like, okay, that's where it makes sense
Right.
to me, you know?
But, there are English words that sometimes it sounds like laurel and sometimes it sounds like yanny. Remember that
Right,
whole thing
and
that was
everyone
going
how
around a couple
you
years ago?
interpret
So
it.
it totally makes sense that even when you look at the label of the soap, that it would sort of project on you what you might be about to smell, right? A little bit of the power of suggestion.
Right.
So I love that this takes you out to sea. I love this takes me inland to an apple orchard.
Yeah, but it's a very enjoyable scent.
Right.
I do feel like you could use it all year.
Right.
There's something about having the blues and the greens and the colors that I'm getting.
Right.
Like it would be totally fun on vacation somewhere warm. It would be totally legit in a business meeting, and you're the fun, approachable guy that's here to get things done.
Right.
There's just a different energy about it. Like you're a happy person on the inside. I don't know if that makes sense.
And on the rainbow of like bright smells to darker smells, this stops about halfway.
It does
There's
not darken.
nothing tobacco-y, patchouli in this at all. Get that out of your head. This does all of that magic and all with the middle notes, with things that are like in the middle are being used to ground it. I'm ready to put up a white flag. Let's go into the boss's office and see if he's got some scent notes for us. All right, you take it from the top. This is from the sales page again at PAA.
A classic, aromatic, ambrosial. Green scent for men. That's a word.
Ambrosial is a lyric in Sweeney Todd.
Funny.
So those of you who've seen the Stephen Sondheim thing.
Okay.
Are your nostrils aquiver and tingling as well at that delicate, luscious, ambrosial smell?
Well, Sondheim.
Stephen Sondheim.
Jeez.
Yeah! Oh, I love that word. Okay, keep going.
Okay. All right. So it is a pretty good few rows of things here. So this is
and you know
where
what's
we're
funny?
at.
When I bought this, I stopped after the first two.
And you just push order.
I loved the first two so much. I knew I didn't want to spoil the rest for the episode.
Sold.
So
Okay.
as soon as I saw Fuji apple
Those top notes.
and mint,
Done.
purchase,
And then-
bundle, purchase.
But it just keeps getting better.
I know, it gets better.
I thought there was a floral. I wasn't sure what it was, but this makes sense.
Yep.
Lavender kind of
Beautiful.
eases from the fruit side.
100%.
Mint,
100%.
citrus and basil. So from reading just
Oh!
those,
Whoa!
that's the green I'm getting.
Hold on, you're getting the basil.
Yes, and I knew that there was a citrus in there, but I still get such a fun
Yes.
blue-green, like zesty.
And hot off of Barbershop Month, we had some basils. This is nicer. This is more of a basil I recognize.
Something with the Fuji apple mint side.
Right.
And the citrus basil, they are friends.
Right. Not a big cocktail drinker, but when I was at a Disney park when they opened their very first cocktail bar, right? I had a strawberry basil lemonade that was made with fresh basil. Set
Totally
my
different.
world on fire, y'all. That was beautiful. And the server was like, nobody orders it. You should really try it. It's
Right.
fantastic.
And we did.
And oh man, Eric, keep going.
Okay, then we go to middle notes. Oh, it keeps going green. Look.
Sage. Now, not a clary sage,
Nope.
but a sage. Beautiful.
And I do get more of that
Geranium.
green.
And then here's my favorite flower for a shave soap. Carnation.
See, and I could smell the geranium and the jasmine, which is next.
Yeah, there
That's
you
what was
go.
but again, a masculine floral. Somehow it works here
Maybe
completely.
that's why I took it to the orchard. Is my nose was diving into that carnation, and yours is going into the more aquatic thing.
Interesting. And then this whole next layer is going to
Yeah,
rock our
y'all
socks.
strap in for these
Here's the
base notes.
masculine
Okay,
side.
so
Ready?
balsam, woody, fir. That's
Woody.
You know what? Wow.
That's why I'm in the blue forest here. I don't
Those
understand.
scents are so strong. How did they sneak in on me?
Right. And then just wait till we get to the end. Cedar. And then your other one, patchouli.
Marcus was wrong. There's patchouli in here, folks. But it's not. Okay, if you know patchouli, it's not. It's not that. If you went to college in San Francisco in the 90s, it's not that. Get that out of your head. So, yeah, it's just a tiny bit to just ground it, I think, if it's there.
I think one of my second cousins may have worn this.
Really? Which one?
Think, my cousin Franco. I could be wrong, but maybe.
That's cool. I must have known people that wore this.
Right? I mean, it's familiar to me, but I don't get the typical 90s, like, vibe.
No, that's interesting. No, I don't. And I think I did with Casi Perfecto.
Interesting.
I think I did. But yeah.
Oh, and then at the very end, it says bold, yet still playful.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is a little bolder than I would have initially expected, but I love it. And I love that it is bold while being playful. It's more of an Ed Wynn like type of character, right?
Speaking of bold and yet playful, should we dunk into that splash over there?
Ooh, if we're going to do that, let's take this a little bit deeper.
It's a very clear one. Sometimes we have ones that have a little hue to them.
Right.
Speaking of hue,
that
though,
came off really
that did. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
Right?
Wait a minute.
That's why I'm wondering, because that list, what you weren't getting here as much, are you going to get more of the woodsy, that kind of stuff here?
That's different. Oh, smell this. Wait a minute.
Okay. Did it dry down?
Oh.
Things are happening, people.
Crowd pleaser indeed.
Yeah?
Smell.
Wow.
Right? The apple is not as prominent in the aftershave.
No, but the smell got
Yes.
more crisp.
Yes, it's more of the center of the apple. I don't get the entire apple smell. I get the rosy
But
heart
picture
of the apple smell.
Fuji apple.
Yes.
It's more that green,
Right.
a little more brisk, not as
Right.
sweet
Yes.
of the red apple.
So let me be clear. It's not rose, but the apple is in the rose family of plants and flowers and fruits. So if you could take the heart of that apple smell and just twist it a little to bring a little bit of that rose family out of it, that's the heart I get in the splash.
Interesting. Do you get more the woodsy side?
Yes, because those are there to fill
But
it
the
in because the
balsam wood,
apple
it's a
doesn't get too
different wood.
sweet. Right. And because the apple doesn't get too sweet in the splash, it's letting the woods play a little bit
Okay,
better.
so I know we always talk about how it could be, different on me, but reading that list, there's not any straight up leather or straight up things that are completely masculine, which is kind of crazy because this is a cologne. But
And what I
see
like
what happens here.
about what Douglas does is it smells different on you. He often explains that your body chemistry is the
Right.
missing scent note
But
in the final version.
Only
right?
because
So-
this happened with Casi Perfecto. It smelled like it's completely.
Whoa. Do you get the meat of the apple in this?
Yeah, see, but I'm getting the geranium and the apple like in a
Right.
total twist.
Yes. And that's crazy because I would expect the apple to join more with the wood, but it's not. It's joining with the flowers.
Right, but the basil and the sage are here, but they're not prominent.
Right.
They're kind of hidden in the back with the woods.
Right. Now, and you know what? You know what just hit me? This is a really interesting thought. Now, we've just come off of Barbershop Month and Classic Aftershave Month. We're at the end, yo.
Right.
This smells masculine, but not in any of the ways my nose is used to right now because I'm coming off of those smells.
I also think that's why
Whoa.
90s is so prominent
Right.
with the switch of the frag idea.
Right. So I think something in the 90s shifted.
The frag world changed
We are
something.
not doing masculine anywhere near the same way as we are doing before, but we're reinventing it.
But think about the 90s. Like, even all the men were wearing so many different colors, the
Right.
brights, the neons. It wasn't the very setup. Like,
Ooh, Henny the
before
Splash.
that, men were really expected to be in a suit or a
Right.
blue-collar uniform.
Right.
If they did not have the fun kind of look happening.
So you know
Something in
how-
the 90s switched.
Right. So you know how like Burma Shave, Old Spice, Diver Down, we could go on and on. Those are the DNA of those classic aftershaves. And they all sort of share little wisps of characteristics of
Right.
each other because they were evolutions of each other, right? This isn't an evolution. This is like a rebirth.
Yes.
This is a brand new thing. And I'm so glad we just did Casi Perfecto.
Right, they completely are
because
in the
those
same
are
category.
and they hit within a year of each other.
Intriguing.
So I love that those came along to just completely reinvent what smelled like a dude.
Right.
And if you think about it, what makes up a dude was starting to shift a little
was.
bit in the 80s and 90s, away from more of the John Wayne characters
Right, that cookie
and a
cutter.
little bit more of a reverence to the Mr. Rogers and the LeVar Burtons. And I think that's why these scents also underwent that sort of transformation.
Right.
From like the man's man, quiet, strong, silent type scent
Right.
to more of those modern type
Right.
men.
And this is a much versatile smell. Obviously, we were around in the 90s,
Right.
but we can appreciate it on a different level looking back now.
Well, and
at this
also,
scent.
right, our grandparents were wearing the stuff from the 40s.
Right.
And the bottles are still in their bathrooms.
Right.
Yeah, also, we have been there for all of it. And yeah, I think I am totally identifying something that happened in the 90s. CK1 also came out at that exact time, a gender-neutral
Right. We
cologne
did
by
do
Calvin
that.
Klein. Yo, I think we're onto something.
I would agree. And I'm so glad that you caved after those first two scent notes and push order because it's fun to learn what we were not frag people back in the 90s.
Right, no.
So this is a whole new way of us looking at scents. And the fact that both this and Casi Perfecto have a different scent on me, that they have enough in them
Right.
that feminine side on my chemistry
Totally.
is totally different.
Yep.
Obviously, this is Hugo for men.
Right.
Let's be real. But there is something in this that looking on the scale back in the day, we used to say, is this masculine, feminine? Again, it's kind of close to that middle zone a little bit more than I was expecting.
And if I'm going to put a cap on this, y'all, I know we're looking at apple and mint and citrus, but this is so far from a gourmand, I can't even see straight. So that's the other thing, is that this has that dapper sophistication of being a clean man, not like some kind of dessert he just had or anything like that.
No.
It pulls those parts out of these different well foods to make a way different sort of smell. One that you don't even identify at the beginning as apple, I think, unless you've actually read the scent note.
And just smelling this is somewhere I would want to go. This is someone I would want to hang out with. It just has that, approachable, fun vibe. I get it.
And I think only certain personalities this would appeal to.
Agreed.
So it's kind of like that. This might be one of my jackass detectors. If you're a schmuck, you're not even going to like this in the first place, right? Or if you're a double SOB. Wow, way to connect that. So it's pretty simple. All you have to do is be a little farm boy from Kansas and know that your uncle owns a giant corporation in New York City. Well, you're going to go, and just about the time you figure out the secret of your success and maybe have a fling with your aunt accidentally, Michael J. Fox, you just got your own. So head over to their website at phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com, or even better, do it by way of the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, which lets them know that we sent you, and it gives us back a small percentage of the sale, which we'll probably spend on soap so we can make more episodes. It's at no cost to you, and we would be grateful.
I'm back from my shave with double SOB, and I know it's kind of supposed to be more of the Hugo Boss masculine side, but I have to say, this is one of my new favorites that I will definitely be stealing. The lather was wonderful, and it just woke immediately, so trusty with the brush and everything. I felt completely safe on my legs. Wonderful, wonderful vibe. And I have to say, that aftershave splash added a nice little touch, so I will be using this again soon.
So, Douglas and Fran, we need a picture of y'all with Huxley for an upcoming episode.
We decided for Easter that we want to bust out the Friends Till the End episode from Sterling, and we need your help. So we want you to send in a picture of you and your four-legged little friend to add to this episode.
This was a soap that Rod and Mandy at Sterling created to honor their pets. So we thought at the end of our episode, we would do a little collage of our Barbershop Duet family with all of their pets. And it doesn't just have to be dog and cats. Crystal and Angela, we're looking at you.
Any little friend you got.
Yes. So send your pictures to wesetyou@thebarbershopduet.com and keep an eye out for that episode at the end of March. I'm so glad we have this because it feels like doing Classic Aftershave Month has just totally educated us, and you can almost arrange our aftershaves by year. You can almost do it chronologically, like starting with 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then moving up from there, right? This has been so fun because you can track the evolution of these sets.
And I can't wait to see what comes next. If this is what we're hitting for the 90s, like I'm curious if there's any other ones that come after that we got to get on our list. Let us know if you know ones from the 90s that we need to put in this collection. I'd be very intrigued.
And I'm kind of excited to start smelling the ones that our favorite celebrities used to wear and maybe kind of see what appealed to them or even maybe what era they wanted to lock themselves into.
Right? Like what they identified with and why they kept wearing that one.
Right? Because I know some guys I graduated with and their signature scent is still Jupe. You know what I mean?
Right?
So
but that's true. I wonder.
Yeah, love this.
Keep us notes in the comments. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.